everyone, it's Yesenia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Budget with Books and Makeup. On this YouTube channel, I am talking about my financial journey. I am currently in my mid-30s trying my hardest to clean up the giant financial mess that I made in my early 20s. So if this is comment that appeals to you, please like, please comment, please subscribe. Hey everyone, how are we doing? It is currently May 13th. I am going to film an overall budget update. Oh my God, there's my dog. What's my dog doing? I'm sorry. Oh geez. Okay. It is currently almost halfway through May. I'm going to be filming an overall budget update, letting you guys know how my budget is going. I realized I have not done a budget update recently, so let's take a gander at what my finances look like. I think the best place to start is with my breakdown of the month of April. So for those who don't know, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome, thank you for stopping by. And I'm sorry my dog's butt is kind of like, oh geez, is in the frame. She does not understand the concept of personal space. We're just gonna ignore her tail and we're gonna just jump right into it. So for those who don't know, I am a full-time high school PE teacher. I am also a part-time group exercise instructor. So I do have two incomes coming in every month, and I budget based on my teaching paycheck, which is from the 7th of every month to the 6th of the next month. And that is because I get paid bi-monthly, so I get paid twice a month, and it's always on the, it's always on the 7th and the 22nd of every month. So it's the same dates. Now, the dates can land on different days, so budgeting can get tricky from there. So I just generally budget from the 7th to the 6th of every month. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at April. April was okay, I didn't do too bad. So here's a breakdown. This is how I ended the month of April, and this is what I rolled over for the month of March. This is the earned income that I brought in. Oh dear God, Cupcake, like what is wrong with you? Dude, get over there. And typically what happens when I do my budget is I do sometimes use savings because I do use sinking funds for big purchases and other things like that. However, I do not calculate it into the monthly budget just because it does get really confusing for me. So whenever I need to make a sinking fund purchase, I typically put that on a separate credit card and then I just pay it separately, and then it's not calculated in here because in my mind, when I fund my sinking funds, the money has already been spent, even though it just got put somewhere else in a different account. Really, sweetheart? No, get off the budget. Get your butt. Oh dear God. So that's why you really don't see other income or savings. Like, it's typically zero. Other income, sometimes I use credit card points to pay for things. Sometimes like I'll get just random money from people, and so then I'll just factor that in there. So for this month, of the month of April, I brought in or utilized a total of $6,655.07. This is the breakdown of where all that money went. For those who don't know, yes, I am back in debt. It is very unfortunate, and I am very sad about it. I had to make the decision to either buy a new car or replace the engine in my current car, and I went with the cheaper option, which was just to replace the engine. I took out a brand new credit card at 0% interest for the next 15 months. So I am kind of slowly chipping away at it. For right now, I was paying $750 a month towards that debt, so I can pay that down. I have since then restructured my financial goals, and I'm actually going to make that a separate video, so that will be coming later. But for the month of April, I did send $750 to that credit card. Memberships, these are all of my subscriptions. So I have Book of the Month, I have Everend, I have Kindle Unlimited, Netflix, Disney, and Disney Plus is like Disney and Hulu, Discovery Plus. So those are my subscriptions. I just call them memberships. I think, what did I do? I think I bought an extra book from Book of the Month. That probably was it, which was why it was a little more expensive. I was under budget in utilities, so I budgeted $2,018.53. And then I only spent $1,980.97 for the utilities. So this is my rent, my gas bill, my internet bill, my insurance, the electric bill, and I also put in Cupcake Hair Club membership in those utilities because she definitely needs that. So like it pays for her vaccines, it pays for her blood work, a poop test every year, as well as her dental. So it's just all of her basic needs. Hold on. Okay, I am sorry. I also should have said I have the dishwasher going on in the background. It's kind of loud because my apartment is kind of small, but you know, rent didn't go up in the last 5 years. So that's why I stayed here. Okay, groceries, I budgeted $500 and then I spent $590.88. I had to repurchase all my meat, and that was because for the month of March, I did a low buy, shop my shelf. So I really made sure to only really eat what was already in my freezer. And I had all my meat for the month of March. So I didn't need to buy meat. Like the chicken, the ground turkey, and the ground beef, and my emergency chicken wings lasted the entire month. And that is because I do all of my shopping for my meat at Costco. So I just buy it all at once, throw it in the freezer, and then it lasts me a whole month. So, or sometimes it lasts me 2 months. So I guess I really only need to stock up on protein every other month. So I'm gonna have to like keep adjusting the grocery budget to see how it fluctuates from month to month. Household, the plan was $150. I spent $155.63. Y'all, that my household, it's gone under major changes over the last couple of months, and I'm gonna pretty much stop because I do want to save up for a house, and I don't really want to like buy any new things until, well, not a house, a condo, until I'm ready to purchase my first home. So I think actually for the next 2 years, I'm going to slowly start to declutter and get ready for that. Beauty, $275. I spent $287, just the normal skincare, getting the nails done. So most of the time I'm under budget for this one. It just depends on when I run out of skincare, how much I run out of. Because the more I run out of, the more I have to replace. And then if I have to replace all of my skincare at once, I just end up eating up my entire beauty budget. So working, that happens. Cupcake, her normal $120. I spent $131 on her. I can't remember why. I think she ran out of food and other things. Oh, that's why. So I bought an extra supplement for her this month. It's a collagen supplement from Healthy Pets. And that's because if you guys have dogs and they scratch and they lick and they scratch and they lick and you're like, can you please stop? Typically it's because of allergens, or apparently there's like a barrier, and this collagen supplement will help to repair that barrier. So I bought it and we're giving it a try. And it does seem to be helping. We've just started it. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks. In order for supplements like this to be really effective, you consistently have to use them for about 3 to 6 months to actually see a major difference. So we're working on it. Personal, $75. I spent $125.25. I had to throw out 2 bras, so I had to replace them because I work out a lot. Like that is actually a work expense for me. So I really do need those sports bras. Car expenses, guys, I cannot. I had to budget $175. So that was just gas, $78.33. I got gas again. However, I didn't pay it with this cycle. I paid it with May, so I put it in the May budget. Tell me why. It's $90 to fill up a tank for my car. It used to cost $35 when I first got my car in 2016. $35 to $40 sometimes to put a full tank of gas. This time it was like $88.90 or something. I was so angry. So the car expenses budget went up to $200 because I also used this budget to pay for windshield wiper fluid. I also pay, for parking, like anything car related. Eating out, $125. I spent $128. Typically I just eat out in the neighborhood. So that's why I try to keep that low. Work expenses, $53.94. I had to buy some extra things for work this month, so that's why it was $278.65. Yeah, it was for school work. We had a fundraiser, so I bought some snacks for my advisory to sell. So I'm only gonna take $30 back Now other teachers like made donations, and then the kids made donations to help pay for the snacks so we can sell them. End up eating the whole cost of this, but I think I'm ending up like eating $70 of the cost because it is a donation to charity. So not a big deal. Savings, the plan was $1,157. I managed to put $1,106. So I was kind of under budget by 50 bucks. Not a big deal. I'm still calling it a win. I mean, still putting like $1,100 into savings is pretty damn good. I did manage to put $500 in my retirement account. For other, it ended up being $244.29 instead of $143. Why is that? Apple, that's what happened. Okay, so I have this old this old debt with T-Mobile, and I kept trying to tell them because they sent it to a debt collector. First of all, they didn't contact me first to collect the debt. 6 months later, I just received an anonymous phone call from a debt collector saying, hey, so T-Mobile, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Well, and then they were like, oh, but well, they told us this and you owe this debt. And I'm like, guys, I didn't even know about this. They didn't notify me. They're like, what do you mean? Turns out like they sent a letter to my old address. And I told them this. They're like, what? That's not the address T-Mobile sent us. I'm like, yes, I know, I understand. Like, that's not my address. Like, I don't currently live there. So this has been an ongoing fight for several years. And this year, because I keep disputing it, and then they leave me alone for about a year, and then it comes back. I'm just over it. The new debt collector, because they sold it to another company, sent me a link and they said, hey, do you want to settle for $101? I'm like, absolutely. Just get rid of this. So I paid the $101 and now it's good. But that's where that other came from. That was so irritating. Okay, yearly expenses, nothing unbudgeted was $65.23. What was that unbudgeted? Was it the bras? No, the Budget Mom. Okay, that's what happened. So I follow the Budget Mom, which is my budgeting system, on Instagram, and Kamiko is like moving warehouses. She's downsizing to keep costs down. So she was cleaning out her old warehouse and she found a whole bunch of like this workbook and she thought she had ran out. So she was like, hey you guys, so I'm gonna put them up for sale because she found a whole bunch. So she's not coming out with the new workbook this year. Whatever she had left was all she had left. I do have the PDF, an old PDF. I hated printing it out and then putting it all together. So when they became available, I went on her website and I bought a new one and it was totally worth it, and I have it stashed away for the next year. I added up all the expenses and it came out to $6,519.66. I was off by $38.54. I don't know how that happened. We're moving on because I try not to dwell on the past. That's so terrible of me. Yeah, so that's how the month of April went. Not too bad. It is what it is. It is what it is, but I made it work. These are the expenses. So this is what's going on in May so far. Okay, so this is the May monthly budget. This is like just the big plan. This is what I wanted. So this is the plan for the month of May. So this is what I wanted to do, and this was just the overall like big picture. Now for some people, I do know that this freaks them out because this is a big plan and it's a lot and it can be overwhelming. However, I like seeing the big picture. It gives me a better guideline of how the month is gonna go, and I like seeing to make sure if I can achieve all my goals for the month. So I don't mind monthly budgets, they don't bother me. Yeah, so this was the monthly plan for May. These were my incomes. I did roll over, and that's because I still need to pay myself some of the money from that fundraiser so I can pay myself back just a little bit. So I rolled over $225.93. This is my teaching paycheck for the whole month. So that's the plan, and it looks like it is as planned. I didn't submit any loss of prep forms or anything. Now I did pick up a lot of shifts towards the end of April, so that is why I budgeted $700 $100 for the whole month, and I am on track to make that. I don't have any other plans to bring in any other income, so I plan to allocate $6,700.35 for the whole month of May. So these are all my expenses. My rent, Kindle Unlimited, Everend, Netflix. These three are memberships. Care Club, so that is my darling daughter, my dog. Membership to the vet's office. These are for her vaccines, the poop test, and all that fun stuff for her annual care, you know, to make sure she's nice and healthy. Insurance, so insurance, I have my car and renter's insurance bundled together, and I still have full coverage on my car because I just bought a new engine, so I'm keeping the full coverage. Also, this is pretty cheap, $118.14. My premium, so my cost only went up $10 per month when I had to renew the contract. So it was $108 before, and now it's $118. I'm like, well, that's actually not that bad. I'll just keep the $118. Zumba, $53.94. That is a work expense, so I need to pay that in order to keep teaching Zumba classes at the gym, as well as freestyle classes at the gym, so I can keep my certification to teach those. ComEd, the plan is $60. I actually got to double check that. The gas bill, I think this is significantly lower. I can't remember what it is, but I budgeted $100. Discovery Plus is $6.60. The AT&T bill is actually $230. So that is what I get for purchasing an iPhone 17. I kind of needed it though, the battery. I need it for the battery, y'all. The classes that I teach at the gym, I have to use certain apps to teach certain classes, and those apps will drain my battery. So I do actually, not every year, but I do need to make sure I can keep my battery health so I can continue to teach my classes and not have my phone die while I'm teaching. Acorns, that is my retirement account. So to keep my Roth IRA, it's just $3 a month. Book of the month, $18.73. Disney Plus is $14.32. I need to catch up on Scrubs. Apple, so for those who don't know, I purchased a new iPad. I traded in my old one and got a new one, and then I got a new Apple Pencil. The trade-in, I actually got a decent amount of money. It was $230. Yes, but I still owe like a couple $100 on that iPad, so I'm still paying it off. So that is going to come out to $68.16. Which brings the grand total of utilities and the fixed expenses to $2,204. Groceries, I planned for $50, since I didn't need to buy any protein this month because I still have ground beef, ground turkey, and I did buy some chicken tenderloins because I was running out, and another bag of emergency chicken wings. I can spend less, and it looks like I am on track to spending the $450. Household, $150. I want to start a stockpile, but I'm trying to decide if I want to start it now or when I move out. We'll see. But these are the things like paper towels, toilet paper, shaving cream, all that fun stuff. Cupcake or personal, $75. I want to buy myself something nice on the occasion. That's okay. Cupcake gets her normal $120, and I already overspent because she has very expensive tastes, and she likes the freeze-dried raw food, or the freeze-dried kibble. That's what it is. So it's like raw kibble, and she has very expensive taste. Yes, you do, sweetheart. I'm holding her right now, and she's looking at me like, yeah, and what's your point? And of course, the brand Stella and Chewy's. I've done research, and they're like one of the best brands to buy for your dogs. And of course, they're expensive. So yeah, I also had to get her new water fountain because her old one broke. Beauty, $275. I do have to get my nails done again soon in a couple of weeks. And I think I'm good on skincare, so that should really be the only thing. Car expenses, I shot it up to $225 just because, I don't know, gas prices keep going down. They keep going up in Chicago. One place by my work is now $5.69 a gallon, which is absolutely insane. But then other places are $4.87 a gallon. I don't understand. Eating out, I budgeted $150, so I just budgeted a little more just to accommodate, the inflation and all the things. So variable expenses for one person, $1,445. Yes, that is a little insane, but it is what it is. I've tried lowering it. It just doesn't work. I gotta be realistic. Okay, sinking fund, savings, all the things. So these are my sinking funds right now. Car repairs. Because I bought a new engine for my car, any maintenance the engine needs is covered. It's a warranty. There's a 100,000-mile warranty on that car. So oil changes and anything else the engine might need, it's covered. So I don't have to worry about that. However, struts, brake pads, control arms, well, the tires are under warranty too, but like all the other things that could possibly go wrong with my car are not covered. So I still have a car maintenance sinking fund to cover those expenses. And then my eye exam, for those who don't know, I am blind as a bat. So my eye exam, whenever I go, ends up costing around $900. That's because it's the eye exam, the contact fitting. I buy a year's worth of contacts. Sometimes I get a new pair of glasses, and then the glasses have a bifocal in it, and then I get the blue light. It's just really expensive, y'all. I just get everything done. And I go every year because my mom does not have the best eye health. So I go because I know that stuff can be genetic, and I want to make sure my eyes stay nice and healthy. Christmas gets the normal $95. Vacation gets $150. Cupcake, my lovely child, if she ever has an emergency, she has her own fund, so she gets $100 every month, and it's starting to get nice and hefty, which is great. Taxes appointment, so this is my taxes appointment for next year, is $25. Medical surprises gets $25. I currently have a broken front left tooth. It is chipped, and that's because it's fake. And the last time I had the composite filling, and actually this came up on Facebook. Oh my gosh, there was a Facebook memory. It was 2011. So it is 15 years later. So the dentist was like, yeah, not surprised it needs to get replaced. Don't know how much. She recommended this time I get a porcelain veneer. Don't know how much it's gonna cost after insurance costs. So I need to start beefing that up. And she's like, please get it done soon, because my tooth already chipped. So this means it's probably gonna continue to chip because it's already weak. I did tell her, I'm like, hey, listen, I was planning on doing it soon, and then my car broke down and I needed a new engine. So I kind of had to pick like which, to tackle first. The car was a bigger priority. My car gets me to work. I can still eat food with a chipped tooth. It's fine. But she's like, please get it done soon. And she's not wrong. Like it'll start to break down more. So hopefully I can get a new porcelain veneer this year, but we'll see. Medieval times, we're gonna start saving for medieval times next year. I always end up spending over $200 or close to it. So I just like having a little extra cushion and then not having to worry about paying for that. So total sinking fund, $605. My Roth IRA for my retirement, the plan is $500 and I already put it in there. My 6-month emergency fund that I'm beefing up right now is hopefully gonna get $1,546.35, which means my total savings is $2,651.35. And then my debt is getting $100. Technically, I didn't have a minimum monthly payment for this month. I'm still sending $100, just to keep chipping away at it. But I'm gonna explain this in a separate video for my financial goals. Well, this is also paycheck number one, the cycle number one, and how we are going to, and how it's going so far. So I already sent the money to my sinking funds, already sent the money to my Roth IRA, and I sent $513.71 to my 6-month emergency fund. Some bills. Oh, actually Kindle Unlimited came out. Let me write that in there. Carrot Club will come out on the Monday, so that'll come out Monday. And this is how it's going so far. I do need to, once again, this is pretty up to date, but I'm going to update it again this weekend because I am going to get paid again next week. So I want to get that budget going as well. But that's where I am currently standing. I do want to do an update of all of my accounts, my current retirement standing. So kind of like a quarter one check-in, but the later quarter one update. Anyway, I want to do an update on all of my accounts and let you guys know where my goals are and why I decided to shift my goals. So that video will be coming soon because I made big changes. But I also see big changes in the future. So Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think I did ramble. It was a lot to cover, so I'm gonna do my best to cut this down, and then we'll do another check-in as well next week with my May budget. But thank you all so much for watching. Bye.